Hi everyone, my name is Addie. I'm an RBT in the state of New Jersey, and today I want to tell you about the top traits that you are going to want to develop, if you don't already have them, to be the most successful RBT that you can. The first one is flexibility. You are going to probably have an idea of what you want to work on with your session with your kiddo, and you might get there and it could be completely not doable due to that child just having a bad day, or something happens and there's a schedule change. Maybe the child didn't sleep well. There's a bunch of reasons of why your session might not go as you had originally planned it, and that's okay. You just have to be able to pivot, shift gears. The longer you're in the field, the more you will have tricks up your sleeves that you can pull out when you're having days that you just don't expect to go the way that you had planned. The second one is you are going to need to be objective. And that can be really hard to do when your kiddos are throwing punches, they're kicking, they're yelling things that might not be very nice, and you're working really hard and it might hurt your feelings. And that is very justifiably, a good reason for you to be upset, but you can't let it affect your judgment. And I'll tell you why. The first reason is it doesn't give your kiddo justice. Because if you're taking things personally, it takes you out of that objective mindset and that observant mindset, right? You need to be really detailed. That takes me to the third one. You need to be really detail oriented in observing these behaviors. And you cannot be taking it personally, because that will put you at a personal bias for why these behaviors might be occurring. So keep it objective as possible and don't try to make any interpretations, especially while you're in your session. When you get home later, think about it, try to put yourself back, but it's going to be most important to observe everything that you can while you're actually at the session to give you the most accurate data. So yes, like I said, you're going to want to be really detail oriented. You're going to try to capture as much information as you can visually, audio, what is happening, what's the child saying, are the parents saying anything, are there other siblings, or are they a factor? So there's going to be a lot of observational awareness that you're going to want to cultivate. If you don't have that skill already, maybe you do, and that's perfect, then you're meant to be in this field. The next one is, sorry, I lost my place. Constant change. So kind of as I was mentioning before, you have to be flexible. You are going to have a different experience every time you go see your kiddo. Or maybe you're in a daycare setting, it depends on where you are, but every day is going to look different. And if you like structure and routine, then this might be a little unsettling for you. But if you think you can handle it, then prepare to be surprised in a good way about all the different changes that you might see. Okay, the last one is, second to last one is you want to invest in your families. Have you heard that phrase like, you don't want to take work home with you? In this field, you do want to do that, because that is going to allow you to be more effective next time in your interventions, in your antecedent strategies. And the other thing is, kind of going back to objectivity, you might be part of the problem without realizing it. So if you are not constantly thinking about ways to improve your own skills, ways to help your family, it's very important. So do think about it on your own time. If you're having a particularly difficult behavior that you're trying to improve upon, definitely talk to your supervisor, but think about it too. Think about things that you can try next time you go. Don't just keep trying the same things over and over again and hope it'll work this time. You might have to brainstorm, and that's okay. It's part of what makes this job so rewarding. The last thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you do your best to study autism and other developmental disabilities. Whatever it is that your client has a diagnosis of, you're going to want to make sure that you are completely well versed in that area, because kind of going back to before, if a child is exhibiting behaviors that maybe you might be taking offense to, if you understand that, this child has a sensory processing disorder. If you can understand the root cause of it, you're also less likely to take things personally, and then you're just serving your client the best way that you can. So those are all the traits that you're going to need to be a very successful RBT. You might be wondering, I hope you're wondering, how do I cultivate these skills if I don't have them already? That's a great question. I'm going to tell you that I have had amazing success with this app called Elevate. It's spelled ELEVATE, and it improves your listening skills, your cognitive problem solving skills, your language skills, and I'll show you one of the exercises. So here's synthesis. It's a listening game. It helps you to become a more attentive listener, and it helps you to retain way more details. Now, this helps you link details with data and dates, names, and places. And it helps you recall more after listening to conversations, which is really important in our field. Here's an example. It waits for you to hear the beep.
I'm Frederick Douglass, and in the 19th century, many called me the foremost African-American intellectual of my day. I was born into slavery in Talbot County, Maryland, around 1818. In 1826, I was sent to Baltimore, where I lived with the family of a ship carpenter and learned to read before I was sent back to Talbot County. I fled slavery in 1838, eventually escaping to and settling in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Okay, so now it's saying New Bedford, Massachusetts. Did he escape to there? Yes, he did. And then born in, where was he born? Talbot County or Baltimore? Oh, was it Baltimore? No, it was not. It was Talbot County. Okay, so that's how this works.
My career as an abolitionist began in...
So that's round 2. There's a few rounds of it. So yes, that is a great app, definitely. Oh, this isn't a paid promotion either. I'd love for it to be, but that's just my personal recommendation. I'm not getting any commission or anything for recommending it. Another couple things that you want to do are, surprisingly enough, meditation and yoga. They are both phenomenal for just honing in on the mind-body connection, your focus skills, and your memory. And it's going to just keep you as sharp as possible when you're in your session and you need to take in so much information at once. You need to shift your attention back and forth. So that's definitely a great recommendation. And your organizational skills. If they're not good, mine are not good. But this is what's been working for me. I've been using a clipboard for all my forms that I need. Right now it's the middle of COVID, so I've got my COVID forms in here. If you are using paper notes and not digital notes, you're going to need to save those for 7 years. In case you get audited, you're going to need to produce the hard copies, so you can use a box or a filing cabinet. And same thing for digital. You can use Excel, Word documents. Just save them. That way if you're audited, you can still produce them. Those are my top tips for becoming a very successful RBT. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I really hope this helped. Have a great day. Bye.